So we need our brick, which I have not yet got. I'm going to open up the hips today. So first of all, just come lie on your back with your knees bent and take your brick, pushing into the feet to lift your pelvis. Just slide the brick underneath the sacrum. So the sacrum, your flat, almost triangle shaped bone at the base of the spine. So if you get the brick in the right position, it should feel comfortable. So do take your time to adjust, whether you need to move it up a little bit or down a little bit. It shouldn't be in your lumbar spine. So if you have it too high up the spine, it will feel a little bit uncomfortable. And then let the arms come to the sides and take a moment to scoop each shoulder blade underneath. So you get a little bit more lift in the rib cage. And then feel as if you're tucking the chin a fraction to lengthen the back of the neck. And then as you start to take the attention to the breath, close the eyes. And let the pelvis begin to get heavy. And again, you can make a couple of adjustments here, rolling the shoulder blades in towards your spine a little bit more. And as the chest lifts and you settle back down, can you find some more space for the breath? As you draw your next inhale in, can you find space in the sides of the body, the space between the hips and the ribs and the armpits? And with your next exhale, can you allow the weight to settle into the brick, into the floor, just a little bit more? And find a smoothness to the breath. So starting to really focus the attention on the inhale. Feeling spaciousness even from the pubic bone to the very outer edges of your collarbone. Finding a smooth and steady rhythm. Matching the inhale to the exhale. The same length, the same steadiness all the way through from the beginning to the end of the breath. And with your next inhale, bring the arms closer to the body and sweep them overhead. And take hold of the right wrist and feel as if you're lengthening the fingertips directly above you. So keep lengthening out and then straighten the right leg along the mat. So keep the heel on the floor. So you're reaching back with the right arm and you're straightening and steadying the right leg. You okay? Oh, they're just outside the door there. You might, underneath the bolster, they're grey now, we've got different ones. Good, so as you feel as if you're lengthening that right heel away, feel as if you're making that right leg longer. And as you use your left hand to gently traction your right arm, feel as if the right arm is getting longer. And then breathe into the front of the pelvis. So the brick is underneath your sacrum, Holly, so it should feel really comfortable. Yeah. No, you're fine. Just lift up a little bit and move it down a fraction. Yes, it should feel right on the flat bone. Yeah. And then straighten right leg, straighten right arm. Nice. And can you relax the shoulders even though you're stretching into the floor? Great. Take another breath into the whole of that right side. And if the shoulders are feeling uncomfortable, you can just bring your arms back down and focus on the lengthening of that right leg. So drawing the toes back as you press through the heel, make that leg a tiny bit longer for your last breath here. And then bring the arms down, bring the right foot in. And then when you're ready, inhale, take the arms back. You can keep your arms at your side if you prefer. Lengthen the left leg. So you're straightening the leg. You've got your heel on the floor and you're lengthening from the pelvis to the heel as you draw the toes back. If you want to add a little bit more traction, take hold of the left wrist and feel as if you're lengthening it straight back. And then breathe into this area from the base of your rib cage all the way to the front of the pelvis, the top of the leg. Feel as if you're making space. Take another breath there. And then start to slide that foot back in, bring the arms down. So we go back to the first side. You're going to hug the right knee in this time. So you might need to just adjust the brick because your pelvis tilts backwards here. So it might need to move a little bit so that you still feel really comfortable with your back, the back of the pelvis, rather than the lumbar spine on the brick. So you can hold on to the hamstring, the back of the knee, or you can hold on to the shin here. And you've got this sense of drawing the knee towards the right elbow, right shoulder. And then gently, slowly start to straighten the left leg along the mat. So keep the heel down and draw the toes back. And you should feel you start to open in the very deepest part of that left hip flexor. So in here, we tend to get very short, a little bit jammed. Make sure that you're not feeling any discomfort in the lumbar spine. So if you need to just reset and shift the brick a little bit, then go ahead and do that. And pay some attention to that left leg. So can you feel as if you take the inner left thigh down towards the floor? So you're really lengthening the back of the knee, bring the toes back. See if you can relax into the pose and take some breath to the left hip flexor. Lovely. To start to release that, bring the left foot in and just straighten the right leg and reach the arms back. Have a little bit of a stretch there. Bring the arms back, bend the right knee. Reset the brick if you need to, and then we'll hug the left knee in. So again, I need to just adjust it. Make sure you feel that the flat part of the back of your pelvis is on the flat brick. Hugging the left knee in. And start to straighten the right, get it right in a minute, the right leg. Press through the heel. So the heel's on the floor, the toes are drawing back, and you feel as if you're lengthening from the pelvis into the very bottom of the heel as you press the leg away. So it makes you feel as if you're lengthening or descending the inner right thigh towards the floor. You can have a slight tone to the belly, and that again will give you a little bit more stretch and opening at the front of that right hip flexor. Relax the shoulders if you can, relax the jaw. Come back to a steady breath. Let's take another breath here. Get this sense of even though we're still here, there's a sense of dynamic movement as we feel that we're lengthening the leg from the pelvis. We're taking the breath into the space between the ribs and the front of that leg, the hip. Great. And then start to bring the right foot in, bring the left foot down. Lift the pelvis, pushing into the feet, and just slide the brick out. And let the back come and settle on the floor. Take the arms wide, separate the feet so they're almost as wide as the sticky mat. And just start to let the knees windscreen wiper. So drop them to the right, both together, bring them through the center, drop them to the left. They don't need to be trying to reach the floor. You don't want the back of the pelvis to lift too much, but just to get a nice sensation of movement in the lumbar spine, keeping the upper body quiet. And then bring the feet hip width apart and sweep the arms overhead. Interlace the fingers and press the palms back, drawing the shoulder blades down so you have space between your ears and your arms. And then straighten your right leg, draw the toes back, and then straighten the left leg. Tone the belly, protecting the lower back, and reach from the fingers, the palms, to the heels. Great. And take a breath into all of that space. Great. Bring the arms down, bend the knees, cross the right ankle over the left knee. Reach your hands to take hold of the left thigh. So you're threading your right hand through the gap between your thighs. That's fine. So if it's difficult to wrap your hands around the thigh, it's really nice to just take hold of a strap. So lift the foot. Yeah, take hold of strap, take hold of strap. Yeah, and then you can really walk your hands down the strap. So this should feel as if you're getting an opening in the right hip. Have you got an opening in the right hip? Yes. Yeah. So lift your right foot and then take hold. Yeah. Okay. You feel it in the right hip? Yeah. Great. So if you've got a strap here, you can really walk your hands down as far down the strap as you can. Yeah. Got that? Nice. You all right, Maggie? Good. See, now can you relax the shoulders, the jaw, the head, tuck the chin a little bit so the back of the neck is long, and take another 2 deep breaths into that right side. If you start to lose the stretch, just see, can you take the legs a tiny bit to the left? Find a little bit more stretch and take another breath. Uncross the legs. Just take a moment to readjust if you've got a strap. Have a little rock and roll and then take it to the other side. So your left ankle crosses over the right knee. You can either use the strap or take hold of the right thigh. So here we want to be feeling the stretch in the left glute, maybe the outside of the hip. How's that feel, everyone? Yeah. So if you're using a strap, you just take the strap underneath, behind the right thigh, and that helps you to draw it in. So you get the stretch in the left hip. And just take a couple more breaths. If you're really open in your hips and you need a bit more from this, then you can take hold of the shin. Let's take another 2 breaths. And then release your hands, uncross the knees. Again, just have a little bit of a rock. Roll onto your side and come up to your hands and knees. If you're on a hard floor, like we are in the studio, then have a pad for your knees. Be kind to your knees. Take your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees just a tiny little bit further back than the hip crease. And as you inhale, let's find cow pose, Bittilasana here. So draw the shoulder blades back away from the ears towards the spine. So we don't want to slide the shoulder blades off the rib cage too much here. You're keeping the chest between the arms, shoulder blades drawing towards the spine. And then tone the belly, but lift the sit bones. Lift the heart, lengthen forwards. Great. And then keep the hips lifted as you exhale. Start to take the sit bones back towards the heel. Try and keep the hands still. And exhale fully here into child's pose. Good. Take an inhale here from the hands to the hips. And then as you exhale, pull the belly back and start to lift away from the heels, pushing into the hands and curling the spine towards the ceiling. Your next inhale, you're going to lengthen out into Bittilasana cow pose. Start to sit back with your exhale into child's pose. Bow the head. Inhale here. Exhale, push into the hands, lifting the body, toning the belly to the spine. Inhale, lengthen cow. Exhale, sit back, child. Balasana. Good. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, coming up, toning the belly, rounding the spine into cat pose. Inhaling cow. So start to move, just flow. Don't worry too much about where your breath is. Just between these three poses, child's pose, cat pose, cow pose, back to child. Start to get a bit more of a flow. Feeling the spine moving, WD-40 between each vertebra. And just do a few more rounds. Yeah. Moving at your own pace, feeling a bit more fluidity and movement through the whole of the spine. Let's just do one more round. And we'll meet in child's pose. So your hands have stayed still, rooting into the floor. So as you sit your sit bones back towards the heels, can you start to press into the hands? So take your awareness into the hands, pressing into the thumb joint, the index finger joints of your palm. So you're grounding the four corners of your palm and the finger pads, the thumb pads, like a gecko. Now start to lift the hips, tuck the toes, and begin to push into the hands, lifting the sit bones towards the ceiling as you take your gaze to your toes and take the belly towards the thighs. So keep the knees bent here. As you bend deeply through the knees, grounding into the hands, can you feel as if you're lifting to the hips? From the hands to the hips, lovely. Now tone the lower belly, drawing the lower ribs in, and then start to straighten the legs. So don't worry if you don't straighten the knees here. You want to keep the length in the spine and feel as if you're lengthening the heels back, the inner ankles back. Lovely. And then get a bit more energy in the arms. So feel as if you're hugging the arms, the hands towards each other. Can you feel that tones a few more of the muscles in your shoulders? Lovely. Let's inhale, the right leg lifts to the ceiling. So both legs straight here. So you can be right up on the ball of your left foot. Nice. Keep that lifted, lift a little higher. And then start to bend the knee and bring the left knee to the floor. So you're kneeling on your left knee, you've got your right leg lifted. Yeah, good. So then we're going to come onto the left hand. Your left shin can swing out to the side. So you can bring the right arm up and reach up to the ceiling, stacking the shoulders, the left hand stays strong. Push through the right heel. Lovely. So really strong in that top leg. And then start to bend the right knee and reach the right hand towards the right foot, maybe the ankle. And again, you can grab your strap here. If that feels like a long way away, you can wrap the strap around the foot. Wrap your right shoulder blade into the back of the heart towards the spine so you feel open through the chest. And then lengthen the tailbone into your thigh stretch. And can you turn your gaze to the ceiling? Well done. Release the foot, take the top arm up. Great, start to bring your right hand down, facing the mat once more. Now we're going to go back into three-legged dog the way we came in. So it takes a bit of strength here. Tucking your left toes, push into the hands. Well done, Holly. And push back, three-legged dog. Yeah. Lovely. And then lower your right foot to the floor. Well done. So inhale, lift your left foot to the ceiling. Three-legged dog. Really nice. Great. And then with control, so the hands, the arms need to stay strong. Bring your right knee down. Good. Keep the left leg really strong. So pushing back through the heel, you might feel the glute work. Right hand under the shoulder. Start to sweep the left arm up to the ceiling. Stack the hips, stack the shoulders. Open up the chest. Now, can you lift that left leg so it's in line with the hip? Strong on the buttock. Yeah. Push through the heel. Top leg strong. And then start to bend the left knee, reaching back for the foot or the ankle. I've got the ankle. And then start to lengthen the tailbone. So we don't want to arch the back too much here. And it'll make your thigh stretch a little bit stronger. Steady breath. Keep the right fingertips pressing into the floor. Right hand strong. And then see, maybe you can turn the gaze to the ceiling. Lovely. Take another breath. Release the foot, taking the top arm up. Start to transition back down, left hand down, tucking the right toes, and push up into three-legged dog. Well done. Both legs straight. And bring the left foot next to the right. Start to walk the hands back to the feet till you ground the heels, soften the knees here, and let the spine lengthen down the legs. Let your head be heavy. Take hold of the elbows. And take a deep breath in this forward fold. So you don't want to be too yanky on the hamstrings here. So of course, it's going to be a hamstring stretch. So you can try just gently bending the knees and then straightening them a little bit. So work to your own degree. Using the breath just to encourage the back of the body to lengthen and open just a little bit more. And then begin to bend the knees, sitting back, sweep the arms up, come all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale, hands to the heart, and come to the front of the mat. You might need your mat, your pad soon. Lovely. So standing tall, feet hip width apart. Sweep the arms up, inhale. Exhale, heart forward, squeezing the shoulder blades back, come all the way down into your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen and look forwards. As you exhale, step a long step back with your left foot. You might want to grab your pad again. And then drop the left knee. Sweep the arms up. And then tuck the tailbone. So we don't want to feel like we're shortening too much in the front of the body, but feel as if you're lengthening from the back of the rib cage down the flesh of your buttocks. So you start to get a lift of this left hip bone. It starts to draw up, and we get a deeper stretch in the front of the left hip. Great. And then take hold of your left wrist. So relax the shoulders away from the ears. So again, you don't want your arms touching your ears. We want some space here. So can you draw the shoulder blades down? Lengthen the tailbone a little bit more. Keep that contact with the left hip and then hinge to the right. So try not to turn and twist the body towards the right knee. Stay centered to the front of your mat. And again, lengthen the back of the body. Breathe into the front of that hip. Nice. Separate the hands. And as you exhale next time, squeeze the elbows in, drawing the shoulder blades back. So we lift from the sternum to the throat. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades back, elbows in. Feel as if you're opening up the chest and squeezing the shoulder blades to the spine. Inhale, lengthen. Keep lengthening the back of the body. Exhale, squeeze. Once more, inhale. And exhale, squeeze. Lovely. Take the hands to the inside of your right knee. Right foot. Knee and foot. And then walk the right foot out to the edge of your mat and turn the toes out 45 degrees. So then we start to descend the pelvis. So you've got space to descend, yeah. Walk the hands forward, so maybe to the top left corner of your mat. And then start to soften the elbows. So can we bow? Good. Once more, feel that sense of lengthening the back of the body from the ribs to the sit bones. So we're toning the belly here. You might, if you've got bricks, you might be able to take your forearms down. But don't worry if you don't. Stay on the fingertips. So Holly, bring that right foot in just a little bit. You don't need it out so much. Yeah. There we go. Is that okay, Andy? Yeah. Take another breath. Start to push into the hands. Bring the right foot more in line with the hip again. So the toes pointing forwards. Tucking the back toes so you're lifted, the back heel's lifted. Feel as if you're lengthening from the base of the rib cage all the way up to the throat. And then take your left arm up. Start to circle it back and find your left heel. It's there somewhere. Now feel as if you can take the outside of your left hip forwards and sweep the right arm up. That's it. Look forwards. No, that way. Yeah. And then sweep the arms up and come back, fingertips to the floor, lift the back knee and step back to plank. Nice, lower to the belly. Take the hands off the mat, so really wide, and come right up onto the fingertips. Press the tops of your feet into the floor, firm the legs towards each other, and start to push down into the floor with your fingertips. Feel the shoulder blades lift away from the floor and draw into the back of the spine. Good. Can you squeeze your shoulder blades together? Feel as if you're lengthening the crown forwards. And then start to lift the chest, lengthening the abdomen. Take a breath here. Shoulder blades draw down and in. Squeeze them in. Nice. And then release. Take the hands either side of the chest, tuck in the toes, and press back up into downward facing dog. Lovely. Inhale, lifting the left leg, and then step the left foot forwards and drop your right knee down. Inhale, sweeping up with the arms, shoulders relaxed away from the ears, and then lengthen the tailbone again. So you've got this sense of lengthening the whole of the back of the body from the base of the ribs to the sit bones, and that should wake up your right hip flexor. And then take hold of the right wrist. Keep the sense of drawing the sit bones down towards the floor. And then hinge to the left, keeping the body square. So don't turn. So your sternum doesn't want to be turning to the left. It wants to be straight forwards. Nice. Taking another breath into all of that space. Keep lengthening tailbone. Drawing the belly, the lower belly up and in. Release the hands. Good. And then start to sweep the right hand back towards the right heel. Lengthen the tailbone. So we don't want to be compressing in the lumbar spine here, and reach up with the left hand. Take the gaze up as well if you can. Can you feel as if you can bring your right rib cage forwards? Well done. Lovely, everyone. Take a breath. And then sweep the arms back up. I forgot this bit. We're going to do this again. Inhaling. Exhale, squeezing the shoulder blades in, hugging the elbows into the back of the rib cage. Good. Inhale. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, squeeze and open, lifting up the heart. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze in. Good. Inhale to lengthen up. And then take the hands to the inside of your left foot. You can walk the left foot a bit wider. It doesn't have to be too wide, and turn it out a little bit so that as you start to lower through the pelvis, the knee and the left toes are in the same alignment. If you do lots of yoga, you're a bit more open through the hips, you can keep the knee and the foot forwards and hug it in a little bit more. So find what feels good for you. You don't want to feel this in your low back. So Holly, you can bring that left foot forwards a little bit so you're not so flexed in the knee. Yeah. And for you as well, Andy, so that you can ground the heel. There, yeah. So then walking the hands out on a diagonal, start to bow the chest towards the floor to your own degree. Might not feel like you're doing much, that's absolutely fine. You might have your elbows on a brick. Excuse me. Nice. And then start to walk the hands back. Well done. Take the left knee next to the right knee. Take your knees really wide and sit the hips back. Hands forwards. Push into your hands a little bit to root the sit bones towards the heels. And bow the head, child's pose. Great. And then just start to come up. We're just going to do a little twisted thigh stretch. So I'll show you where we're going with this. I'll take the other one forwards. So I'm going to step forwards with my left knee, and I might need my strap. So if I need my strap, the strap is going to come underneath the back foot. So it's there if I need it. But I might not need it. So see, you might need your strap. And then we're going to take right hand to the floor and lunge deeply, start to turn and twist. And then we're going to reach the opposite hand to the opposite foot. So this is where you might need a strap, or you might be able to take hold of the foot and then come into this lunge. So again, we're lengthening the tailbone, drawing the belly back, opening up the chest, and letting the pelvis drop. So you can also have your right hand on a brick if you want to be a little bit higher, which might help. I'll come and help you find it. Yeah. Lovely. So squeeze your shoulder blades in a little bit more. Maggie, draw that left shoulder into the back of your heart. Yeah, good. Lovely. So, yeah, left, that's it. So just release your hand. Yeah, turn this way, and that way. There we are. So where am I? So you can slide this hand even further down towards your foot. Oh, so this foot needs to come here. Yeah, and then you can start to lunge.
Which way am I pointing?
And you're twisting. There you go. There. So it should be quite strong on the back leg. Lengthen the tailbone, draw the belly in. That's it. So let's put this here. There we are. Take the left foot a bit further forwards. Yeah, there we go. Then we can start there. Lovely. How does that feel? Yeah. That's great. You could actually take hold of your foot, but I'm not going to make you do it. You're not far away. Well done. Open up, squeeze the shoulder blades in. One more breath. Well done. And just come back into child's pose. So release, take the knees wide, sit the hips back. Thank goodness, says Holly. And breathe into the lower back. So really take your breath and puff up the lumbar spine. Well done. And then we'll take it to the other side. So starting to come up. So this time you're going to take your right foot forwards. Your left hand can be on the floor or on a brick if you want to stay a little bit higher. Bend the knee, reach back, right hand to the right foot. So for me, I need to stay backwards and lifted to get hold of the foot. Then I can start to adjust and come down into the pose. I can come and help you in a sec. There we are. And start to turn, twisting the chest towards your right knee, squeezing the shoulder blades in, and then maybe the gaze can come to the ceiling. That's it. Breathe. That's it, Holly. Lovely. How's that feel? Weird. So you can, if I hold the strap, reach back. Yeah, reach back. There. Then you can, there we are. Then you get the shoulder. That looks better. Does that feel better? How are you doing? Okay on your quad? Yeah. Lovely. And just draw the lower belly in. Nice. Great. And then release, sit back, child's pose. Knees wide. Well done. Again, push into the hands to lengthen the sit bones towards the heels just a little bit more. And then, so puppy dog, Maggie, so you can lift the hips. And take a breath into the back of the body, into the back of the waist. And let's all come up to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes. Inhale, lift the right leg, bend the knee, and then stack the hips so you're opening up the front of the hips, looking out underneath your right armpit. That's it. Just feel a bit more opening. Circle the ankle. Good. Bring the right foot down. Do the same on the left. So you're lifting the left leg. You're starting to stack the hips as you bend the left knee. And then looking out underneath the left armpit. Just so opening the front of that hip. And circling that ankle. Lovely. Bring the left foot down. Come onto the knees. You can cross the ankles however you want to get there. And come onto your back. Well done. And hug the knees in. Bring the left foot to the floor. So we're going to come back to Sukhiyandrasana, just that hip stretch. So cross your right ankle over your left knee. If you can, start to thread the hands through, take hold of the right thigh, and you want to lengthen the back of the neck as you come back down. Great. Make sure, have a look at that right foot. Make sure it's not sickling. So sickling is where you're lengthening the outside of that ankle joint, and so the sole of the foot is starting to turn towards your face. You want the ankle in neutral. So feel as if you're pressing the foot to the floor, to the wall next to you. Yeah, that's better. Draw the toes back to that foot. Nice. And breathe into your right hip. So take this ankle a bit further over. Yeah. And then give me your hands. And then let go of the strap. Can you bring this through? Yeah. So can you interlink your fingers? Yeah. Yeah, you can. There we go. Now relax your face. I'm going to let go. You ready? Yeah. Yeah, that's going to pop up. Okay. Keep it there. Take hold of the strap. but keep your hands really close. Yes, you're nearly there. You just got the strap. There we go. Try not to pop off. Stay there. One more breath. Now, Maggie and Terry at home, turn and twist to the left. So you're taking your right foot towards the floor. Reach your hands through. Yeah. Interlink your fingers. So really stretch through. Yeah. There we are. Okay, I'm going to let go. There we are. That's a bit better. How's that feel? Fine-ish. Fine-ish is good enough. Take one more breath. So you might have brought it over into a twist here. And then release, uncross the legs, just have a little rock for your low back. Bring the right foot to the floor, cross the left ankle over, reaching through to the right thigh. And again, see if you can get the back of your neck long, relax the shoulders. If you feel that you need a little bit more here without the pelvis being too wonky, you can reach through to the shin. And if you want to take it into a deeper stretch, then take both knees to the right until your left foot comes to the floor. That's right. And you can take your right hand to the left ankle if that helps. Or you can stay where you are. Well done, honey. Keep going. Yeah, you can release your hands. Yeah, try it. And then just take your right hand to your left ankle. Yeah. And then open your left shoulder towards Andy. Yeah. How's that? Great. It's a lovely feeling. Have one more breath. Great. Start to come back to the center, uncrossing the legs. Hug the knees in one last time. And then as you bring your feet to the floor, let the knees come out wide. Take the soles of the feet together. Take the arms to the sides, palms up. And once more, just scoop those shoulder blades under. So you feel a bit more open through the chest, the collarbones. And let the back of the body settle into the earth. If you prefer, you can just have your knees bent here. Take one more breath. And you can stay here in Supta Baddha Konasana if you wish, or you can start to straighten the legs, keeping the heels wide apart, and come into Shavasana, full corpse pose. And start to smooth the breath, ironing out any wrinkles, matching the exhale to the inhale. And then let go of any effort in your body, any effort in the breath. Just soften for the last moment of your practice. Begin to notice the sensation of the air on your face as you start to deepen the breath once more. Bring a bit more energy to the breath, and then find some movement in the body. Having a stretch or hugging the knees in again. As you slowly find your way back to seated. And with great love and gratitude, namaste. Well done.